Hello, Los Angeles Dodgers fans. We've got fresh, exclusive videos and the latest updates just for you. Before we dive in, make sure to join our channel and hit that like button. This is the best way to stay on top of all the breaking news. The MLB trade deadline is always a roller coaster, and this year, the Los Angeles Dodgers are once again right in the thick of it. Now, imagine this. The Dodgers just wrapped up a 3-game series against the Minnesota Twins at home. Took 2 of those games, and yet, somehow, they might have missed a key scouting opportunity. Or did they? Because one name that started making waves in trade chatter involving LA is none other than Joe Ryan. Yes, that Joe Ryan, the 29-year-old right-hander from the Twins, who's having a standout season and was recently crowned an all-star for the very first time. Now here's the kicker. The Dodgers didn't even face him during that series. He didn't take the mound once. So, while everyone else was laser-focused on potential deals involving Harrison Bader, Griffin Jax, or flamethrower Jone Duran, Ryan's name started bubbling up in the background. Maybe not front and center, but definitely there, and definitely enough to raise eyebrows. Joe Ryan isn't just a solid arm. He's putting up numbers that scream ace material. Heading into the final stretch before the trade deadline, Ryan holds a record of 9 Victorias and 4 Derrotas with a dazzling Ponto Seat Dois era. That's not just good, that's elite territory, and when you dig deeper, the numbers back it all up. Since making his MLB debut in 2021, Ryan has carved out a reputation for precision. He attacks the zone, racks up strikeouts, and does it all while keeping the walks to an absolute minimum. In fact, over the past 2 seasons, no one, and I mean no one, in the big leagues has a better strikeout-to-walk ratio than Tarek Skubal, except Joe Ryan, who ranks just behind him. That puts Ryan second across all qualified starters in that metric, with an absurd 6 Ponto strikeouts for every walk. To put that in perspective, that's not just good command, that's video game level control. And it's not just the K/BB ratio. Opponents are hitting only Ponto Dois 0 seat against him in that same span, placing him 4th in batting average against, and his era across the last 2 seasons, a very clean 3 Ponto 5, which puts him among the top 10 in the league. So yeah, this guy's not just a nice-to-have, he's the kind of pitcher who can tilt a postseason series. But here's the catch, the Twins aren't exactly shopping Ryan around. According to The Athletic's latest trade deadline big board, which ranks the top 50 players who could realistically be moved, Ryan just barely made the list, and yet, even being mentioned at all is significant. The Dodgers were noted as a possible fit, though most analysts agree this kind of deal feels like a long shot. The Twins still have more years of team control over Ryan after this season, which means they're not under pressure to move him, unless the return package absolutely blows them away. From Minnesota's point of view, why would they even entertain the idea of parting with their top starter, especially after he just earned his first All-Star nod? Sure, they're not exactly dominating their division, and maybe there's a slim chance they pivot into seller mode, but still, Joe Ryan is the kind of guy you usually build around, not the kind you send packing, unless someone comes knocking with an offer you simply can't refuse. So, could the Dodgers be that team? That's where things get interesting, because while they technically do have a decent surplus of starters, and they've even floated the idea of shifting someone like Dustin May to the bullpen, or using him as a trade chip, the reality is, the rotation isn't exactly bulletproof. There have been injuries, inconsistencies, and the pressure of October looming large on the horizon. You need arms you can trust when the lights get brightest, and Ryan fits that mold perfectly. But when you take a step back and look at the Dodgers roster construction right now, the area that needs immediate help isn't the rotation. It's the bullpen. That unit has been held together with duct tape and pure willpower. Michael Kopech is out. Tanner Scott is out. Brusdar Graterol is still dealing with issues. Kirby Yates hasn't been what the Dodgers hoped for. And while Blake Treinen is finally back from the injured list, he's the only high-leverage righty available right now. And he just came off the IL. That's a lot of pressure for one guy to carry down the stretch, which is exactly why the focus for the Dodgers leading into the deadline seems to be in the relief department. Names like Jax and Duran make way more sense on paper. Controllable arms, high-octane stuff, and the kind of back-end presence that can anchor a playoff bullpen. Bader also fits a need as a versatile outfielder with postseason experience. But let's stay on the pitching side of things for now. Even with all that, the Dodgers front office is known for doing their homework, if they're talking to the Twins about Jax or Duran, you can bet someone in that conversation is at least asking the question, hey, what would it take to get Joe Ryan? And the Twins answer, probably something along the lines of a king's ransom. Because make no mistake, Ryan isn't just an option, he's an asset. The kind that changes the ceiling of your team, not just raises the floor. So if you're the Dodgers, you've got to weigh the cost. Do you gut your farm system for a frontline starter you might not even need this October? Or do you stay focused on shoring up the bullpen, the part of the team that's clearly limping right now? It's a tricky balance, especially considering how aggressive this front office has been in past deadlines. They're not afraid to pull the trigger if they think it gives them an edge in the postseason. Remember, this is the same organization that brought in Max Scherzer and Trey Turner in one fell swoop, when everyone thought they were done dealing. And just when you thought things couldn't get more complicated, Tanner Scott Ray enters the picture. After being pulled from the game against the Twins with a forearm issue, there was real concern that it might be something serious, possibly even something that would require Tommy John surgery. That's the kind of news that would have put the Dodgers in full-on panic mode, but thankfully, the MRI results brought some relief. No ligament damage, just inflammation. That said, he's still out. He's started throwing again, according to Dave Roberts. But it's the very first step in a process that could take weeks. Playing catch is a long way from facing live hitters in a playoff atmosphere. There's no clear timeline for when he'll be back, and while Roberts said it's likely to be a shorter stint on the injured list, even he admitted he's not totally sure what that means. In other words, they're being cautious. And rightfully so. And Scott himself, he was just as confused as everyone else when the injury happened. He felt a sting in his forearm after a pitch, 8-5 Ponto Nove Milhas por hora, on the radar gun, low and in the dirt, and immediately knew something was off. This is a guy who's never dealt with arm issues in his entire career, so that sensation was alarming. The initial test gave a bit of hope, but it wasn't until the MRI confirmed the inflammation and ruled out anything more serious that he could breathe easy again. Even so, the damage to the bullpen has already been done. And if there's one thing October teaches us year after year, it's that you can never have too much pitching, especially when it comes to late-game situations. Which brings us full circle to the Dodgers' dilemma. Do they roll the dice on a blockbuster and go after Joe Ryan, who's arguably out of reach unless the Twins are absolutely blown away? Or do they stick to the more realistic path, targeting key relievers like Jax and Duran to stabilize a bullpen that's barely holding together? Because let's be honest, even if they ask about Ryan, there's a strong chance that conversation hits a dead end pretty quickly. The Twins aren't motivated sellers in his case. He's young, he's cheap, he's under control, and he's producing like a number one. That's the kind of player you dream of having in your rotation for the next few years, not the kind you just casually include in trade talks. But you know what? That won't stop the Dodgers from asking. And it definitely won't stop the rest of us from imagining what it would look like to see Joe Ryan in Dodger blue, towing the rubber at Chavez Ravine under the October lights. It's the kind of what-if scenario that makes the trade deadline so compelling, and just maybe, it's the kind of swing-for-the-fences move that turns a really good team into a juggernaut. Now, stepping away from the big trade scenarios and blockbuster fantasy deals for a moment, we need to talk more about the bullpen, because that's the real heartbeat of the Dodgers' concerns right now. The Dodgers aren't just short-handed. They're juggling matchups and praying for clean innings, and when you're in the final stretch of the season, clinging to leads and trying to secure playoff seeding, that's not a position you want to be in. Every pitch becomes a high-wire act, and every injury just makes the rope a little thinner. But before we move forward, don't forget to join our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest news about the Los Angeles Dodgers. We'd love to hear your thoughts on the news, so drop a comment below. There's a buzzing rumor swirling around Major League Baseball, and the latest whispers have everyone's attention locked on the Los Angeles Dodgers. Word on the street is that Juan Soto, one of the game's most electrifying young outfielders, could be heading to the City of Angels. The deal, a massive, multi-million-dollar contract that would immediately reshape the Dodgers roster and shake up the entire league landscape. For months, baseball insiders and fans alike have speculated about the Dodgers' next big move. The team has been aggressively building a powerhouse roster, and with their eyes set on another World Series run, adding a talent like Soto would be a game changer. Known for his exceptional hitting ability, plate discipline, and impressive power, Soto has made waves as one of the premier outfielders in the sport. If this rumor holds water, it would mark a stunning acquisition for the Dodgers, who have been linked to various star players, but none quite as tantalizing as Soto. Soto's journey in MLB has been nothing short of remarkable. Bursting onto the scene as a prodigy, he quickly cemented himself as a feared hitter with a mature approach at the plate. His combination of power and precision makes him a nightmare for opposing pitchers, and his defensive skills in the outfield only add to his value. Over the past few seasons, Soto's statistics have consistently placed him among the elite, making him a hot commodity in free agency or trade discussions. Rumors suggest that the Dodgers front office might have decided that landing Soto is worth the premium price tag, especially given his age and potential for growth. The exact terms of the supposed deal remain hush-hush, but the talk is that it involves a lucrative contract, one that could potentially be one of the highest in Dodgers history for an outfielder. This kind of financial commitment signals a strong belief in Soto's ability to elevate the team's offense and contribute significantly to their championship aspiration. Fans in Los Angeles have been clamoring for a superstar addition to the lineup, and Soto fits that bill perfectly. A young, talented, and marketable player who can energize the fan base and boost ticket sales. Of course, this news comes with the usual dose of skepticism. MLB rumors often swirl wildly during the offseason, with many deals teased and discussed before any ink hits paper. But the consistency and strength of the chatter surrounding Soto's potential move to the Dodgers have made many observers take notice. Could this be the moment when the Dodgers secure one of the most exciting players in baseball? The implications would be huge, not only for the Dodgers, but also for their rivals, who would have to adjust their strategies to counter a lineup suddenly stacked with even more offensive firepower. The timing couldn't be more intriguing, with the MLB trade deadline and free agency period creating an intense buzz. The Dodgers might be preparing a bold statement by locking down Soto. The move could send shockwaves through the league, forcing teams to rethink their own plans and priorities. Imagine the Dodgers outfield featuring Soto alongside other marquee talents. Such a configuration would be a nightmare scenario for pitchers and an absolute thrill for fans. In addition to the on-field impact, this rumored signing would carry significant commercial weight. Soto is not only a superstar athlete, but also a rising marketing icon, appealing to a broad and diverse fan base. His presence in Los Angeles could open new avenues for sponsorships, merchandise sales, and global outreach, making the Dodgers not just a team to watch on the diamond, but a powerhouse in the sports business arena as well. While the deal isn't officially confirmed, insiders suggest that negotiations have been moving swiftly behind closed doors. If this rumor materializes, the Dodgers would have made one of the boldest acquisitions in recent memory, potentially altering the balance of power in MLB for years to come. For now, fans can only speculate, dream, and watch closely as this story unfolds. Could Juan Soto truly be the newest Dodger, donning the blue and white and bringing his superstar talents to Chavez Ravine? In a league where big moves define seasons and legacies, this potential signing might just be the headline everyone has been waiting for. The Dodgers seem poised to make a statement, and if the rumors are true, Juan Soto could be at the center of it all. Stay tuned, because this saga is far from over, and the next chapter could change the course of baseball history. That's all for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay up to date with exclusive news about the Los Angeles Dodgers, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We always appreciate your comments and feedback. See you in the next video.